Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Forrest Morris from Double Shrimp Studios, and this is Talk Like a Pirate, the game. I'm going to be doing a quick overview video of what we're doing and where this project is heading, just to kind of give everyone an idea of what to expect in the future. Nothing too permanent, and everything is subject to change, as always, with early development of any kind of game. But I just wanted to give an example of how this game will work or could work in the future. And this will just be a quick little overview of a few different things that I wanted to highlight. Um, the whole idea of the game is it's a pirate based world, not necessarily a Caribbean setup, but a world full of pirates and islands, and just a paradise for loot, plunder, and trade, and also building, um, colonizing, or uh, creating a pirate empire, as I like to call it. We're on a small island over here, and you see some different resources. We've got stone resources here. Also, the palm trees give you wood for different buildings. And if you notice right here, we've got fish because I've got a few crew members hired to fish. And there's one over there, uh, one right here. And they're bringing supplies up to the stockpile. And the stockpile is where all of your goods will go. You can have 15 stockpiles on your island if you want to, as many as you want. There's no set limit for anything. It's just going to be build what works and work with what you build. As you can see, we got some chickens for a renewable food resource, and also some guards, standing guard, just to make sure nothing funny goes on. Um, the stockpile here is a very important building because it is where all of your resources will be stored. As you can see, the barrels here will be full of your perishable items or smaller items, like things that can't go in crates necessarily, gunpowder, oranges, water. Very important, a fresh water source. This island's resources look like it's just going to be lumber, stone, and fish, because you can fish from anywhere. Fish is that common standard food source that we're going to see in this game a lot. Um, I, as the player, would be considered the captain or the leader of my faction or pirate group, and the objective is there is none. It's to be, to do, and to see whatever you want to see. Right here we've got a trade ship, and this we could say is someone else's trade ship pulled up to my dock, and they've got goods to trade. Crates with stone and barrels of other things, and the guy right here waving at us as we enter his ship. But they will be able to offload their goods and buy goods from our stockpile. And that is necessary to, let's say, build this cannon. This cannon being made of iron, and if my island has no iron resource, I must trade for it or go get it by whatever means necessary. Every item in the game is craftable, buildable, and tradable. Um, Buildings, there's two types of buildings. There's your standard or preformed buildings, I'll call them, which, like the stockpile, uh, you build this building, it has a set amount of resources required to create this building, and it is built with those resources only. Stockpiles can be stacked beside each other to increase their capacity by a small amount per uh, adjacent stockpile. It just gives them like an extra slot in between instead of ending at the poles. Um, and then there's freeform buildings, which could be like your house here. This house can be as long as you want it, as tall as you want it, as wide as you want it. It can have balconies sticking off the sides. Each one of these would be in a module type scenario where uh, you would do an add-on to the house, and you could either start with the floor plan of a small house and work your way up, or you can design your floor plan and find a place to lay it out and gather the resources and build the building. Um, we've got AI that is a part of this game that I've wanted to put in from the beginning, and people have tried to talk me out of it, and I say no, it is a necessary thing because I find myself in some type of survival sandbox games by myself, and that is no good place to be, and I don't want that to be something that drives people away. I want there to be an independent sort of possibility. So you can gather these men from different places. There will be AI that have set up cities on their own islands and their own factions, and you can hire men from different areas, or they will want to join your faction as you become more lucrative. If your trade, if your trading port is trading lots of gold for lots of items all the time, you'll have ships come up with men in them wanting to, sell their services. And whether they be hired guns, fishermen, or builders, you can pretty much give them any job in the game that you want. Uh, the way I look at it is the player can do it all by himself, or he can hire people to do it all for him, or a mixture of the two. If you've got two guys and you're trying to build a house, helping them build the house is probably the best idea. It'll get it done faster. Or, you know, you have two guys collecting lumber and bringing it to the stockpile while you grab wood from the stockpile, take it to the house, and build the house. Um, a bunch of different buildings is what I'm looking at. When you start talking about, let's say, these crates, what they are supposed to be is iron ore and coal. So the iron ore is needing to be smelted into iron, and you will need to build a smelter out of stone and wood and have a guy run it, or you can run it. Like I said, anything can be done by the player or the AI at any point. The only thing the AI cannot do is make decisions for you, and your decisions would be what you want to trade, how much you want to charge for it, or what you're willing to trade for it. The trade's going to work on two different levels. It's going to be a barter or gold based economy. So pirates love their gold, and excuse me, any pirate you hire will need to be paid in gold and also fed. So those two things are always going to be a necessity. Gold and food. Well, of course, and water, fresh water. Um, Fresh water is not everywhere. Um, some islands will have springs or freshwater ponds that you can use to collect water, store it in barrels, and trade. Every item can be traded. Every item can be built. Every item can be uh, crafted. Um, every resource is collectible by the player himself or by the AI if that's what you want them to do. Um, I know this may seem like a lot of information at first, but my next video is going to be a lot better. I'm going to start working on the AI to actually get them uh, gathering resources for me. That is my next step in order to start significantly changing the way I'm currently doing it right now. Um, Chickens, of course, renewable, and also lay eggs, which is another tradable item. And the idea being everything. And we're not just implementing a few things. We're going to implement tons of different things. Let's take, for instance, this musket right here. Say this is a standard smoothbore musket. That musket can be issued to troops to give them firepower. It can be traded to a tradesman. It can be equipped to your player to give him firepower. It can be upgraded to make it more accurate or more reliable, or even upgrade the damage by upgrading the caliber or whatever you want to do. The idea of just having one type of ammo to fit many types of guns is going to be something else. You decide the caliber of your gun. You want a 50 caliber round, it's going to do a lot of damage, but it's not going to have as much range as a smaller, lightweight round that can travel faster and farther, but deal less damage at the same time. Um, Ships are going to work a lot in that same way. This is a trade ship. It's unarmed, it's fast, and it can carry a little bit of cargo. Um, you can design your own ships by lengthening, width, widening, adding balconies, just like you would, like I described the house. You create your own ship for the most part. You're not going to build it block by block, but you're going to build it to fit your needs, where you have X amount of cargo space and X amount of guns on the ship is going to uh, categorize it differently. So if your ship weighs much more than a smaller vessel, it's going to be much slower. Um, you can counteract that by adding more sails or narrowing the boat itself. But all the things you do to your ship affect the way it moves, the way it fights, the way it does everything. So there's going to be a lot of customization involved, and my next video is going to reveal a couple of more things that I'm not telling you about now. They are in the works, so to speak, but they're obvious things for a pirate island that you will see on a that you would think you would see on a pirate island, and it's got a lot of room to grow. I'll say that now, and we're growing it every day. Um, we're hoping to launch a Kickstarter in the next week or so to try to get some initial funding to get a couple more guys in here working on it with me full time. I'm trying to work on it full time, and so are a couple other guys trying to help me. But we all have jobs that pay the bills, and this I see as something that could go far, and we can get a lot of people behind it. I'm not going to lay out any plans for pricing or style of charging. It's going to be cheaper than you think and fun to play on top of that. Um, Multiplayer is also the big thing. Um, just like your AI standing around guarding your base, you could have all of your friends online playing with you. Uh, each captain or player is considered a faction leader from the start. You can not necessarily join someone else's faction, but ally your faction with another to create an alliance, a pirate alliance, if you will, to rule the seas and loot and plunder together. Um, you can build on each other's islands once that happens, and because each island becomes owned by a faction. The island itself is uh, is a thing to be captured, and the resources on it are yours for the taking. Now these trees, I'll chop them down, build stuff, and they'll grow back over time, of course, just as a resource, a renewable resource. Stone like this does not grow back. There's a lot of stone in those rocks. I do mean a lot, and they're big formations scattered like this around the island. So it's not like you're gonna run completely out doing one building project. It's not going to be that difficult. But like I said, we run into this issue that we don't have any iron or fresh water. So the trade is not necessary to trade. Like I said, you could get on your pirate ship with your cannons and guns and go looting and pillaging, or I could take my crew over across the water to that uh, other island and try to take what I can. All of these goods, like these barrels and stuff, can be captured. Um, we can just go and loot the storage yard and or the stockpile here and take it all back to our island and you know keep it for ourselves, use it for what we want, trade it away, sell it, however we feel necessary. Um, like I said, there's a lot more I'm not telling you, and I know I've told you a lot, but stay tuned for more, and wish us luck on the Kickstarter. Hopefully, if you're listening to this, you'll end up backing our project and playing the game with us into the future. Because, like I said, this has got a lot of room to grow, and it's not just on a whim. This has been something going on for a while now, and we're gonna keep doing it whether y'all like it or not. So, um, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more updates. Follow us on Twitter at Double Shrimp, and check out the Facebook Talk Like a Pirate the game. I'll put links to them on the video itself. We also have a website, doubleshrimp.com, excuse me, where we'll do updates and other stuff uh, just to keep everybody informed as far as we can. And like I said, thank you again. This is Forrest Morris for Double Shrimp Studios, and we'll see you next time.